policy environment is very critical.
Good evening, I am Teddy Mparanyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBC Online and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says his government seeks more large investments in the utility sector of water and energy to boost the efficiency of services offered in the sectors. He made the remarks at the State House in Zanzibar when he met and held talks with the management WAPCOS Limited from India. Here more details.
Dr. Mwinyi says until now, Zanzibar receives 110 megawatts of electricity from mainland Tanzania. And now the government intends to produce its own electricity and is ready to cooperate with any company that will be ready to start feasibility studies.
We also thank the Indian government for the support that has been given to Tanzania, both mainland and Zanzibar over the years, particularly in the water sector. We are just concluding a project here, a major water project. So we'll be happy to work with you. And as you know, you're a public entity, but I think the rules and regulations are the same. Yeah. That you have to go through the tendering process here. Yeah. So we'll be happy to work with you. In Zanzibar, there are two sectors of water and power. We need more investment in these two sectors.
Furthermore, Dr. Mwinyi has welcomed a WAPCOS company to invest and work with the revolutionary government of Zanzibar, insisting Zanzibar and India are historical friends and have been cooperating in various fields of development, including education.
We still have the South region, which is very deficient of water supply, and we are looking for more investments around that, including management of the water authority here. So, if you are interested in working with us in those two areas, we'll be happy to work with you.
The chairman and CEO of WAPCOS company, Rajnikant Agrawal, shows the readiness of his company to work with his government.
And in Tanzania, we have been working in past 14 years in water sector. So we have been responsible for funding of around $1 billion in water sector from Government of India. So we started with Dar es Salaam water supply improvements. Then we worked for Lake Tabora water supply in Tanzania for 3 towns of Tabora, Naziga, Igunga. Then later on it was extended to 24 more towns. So that project is going on. And we hope that there is also funding of $30 million in water supply from Exim Bank of India here also.
The government has been advised to increase awareness on carbon business projects through various educational platforms to enable the private sector in the country to fully participate in the business on a large scale and maximize more on the available international market. The call has been made by Cook Fund Program Manager and Senior Finance Specialist from UNCDF, Emmanuel Muro, during a high-level policy dialogue themed Clean Cooking and Carbon Finance being held in Dar es Salaam. Rehema Slabili was there and has prepared the following report.
The dialogue aims to discuss ways to create a more enabling environment for companies and enterprises in the clean cooking value chain to viably participate in carbon trading. Cook Fund Program Manager and Senior Finance Specialist from UNCDF, Emmanuel Muro, says Forum of Nature are crucial for pushing the dialogue on sustainable financing forward while calling on the government institutions to participate in the business.
So the policy environment is really very critical in terms of sustaining and developing this sector. And we think even what we are discussing as opportunities to benefit from carbon finance business in Tanzania, I think the policy environment is very critical to ensure that we as Tanzania, we are benefiting as other countries like our neighbors in Kenya and Rwanda. And we have to learn from other people that if these other neighboring countries are benefiting, why not us?
On the other hand, the government stakeholders elaborate their plans, which are in line with the creation of a conducive environment for carbon business in the country.
We are going to have another one at Freedom. We have already, and we wish to have many testing equipment even at the regional level so that people can be able to access those facilities And once they are certified that maybe it's a mixed minimum standard, they can be able to take them to TBS for certification.
All the projects related to the carbon marketing, carbon trading, there are some which are for restoration, some are for the tree planting, agroforestry, and the guide. So if we tap such an opportunity in carbon trading, though all its complexities, if set, then we'll be able to capture some funds to invest in this transition coming from this towards the clean energy.
Tajieli Urio from carbon offset developer South Pole says Tanzania has a great business potential which will enable the country to earn more and attract more foreign direct investment.
We are in good shape, at least. There are few things that are missing, and it's more on clarity and clarity on issues, particularly on the taxation regarding the revenue from the carbon project. So I think that if we put that clear, we can really attract a lot of investment. But the other thing is more for a cooperative agreement. So far, we don't have much. And I will encourage maybe the government, particularly the Foreign Affairs Ministry and Vice President Office, to work on securing the cooperative agreement under the Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. This can really boost the business environment in Tanzania and make sure that we have a pool of takers for carbon projects originating from Tanzania.
Tanzania has only 42 carbon projects that have been registered in the energy sector. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rehima Sababili, TBC News.
The Vice President's directive to ensure that the Mwanga Same 2 Korogwe water project becomes operational by June this year has started to unfold following arrival of water project filter, the step that has been reported to be a great success to ensure water services reach the people. One of the engineers in charge of the implementation of the project, Athumani Kirundumia, says that the move is critical as it implies that water will start to be treated ready to reach the communities on time.
This is a very crucial stage in the implementation of this project. It is the heart of this project. This project is going to be completed in a short time. Almost every equipment is already here. We are soon going to start water treatment, and after a few processes, we shall start distributing water to the citizens.
The citizens were also given hope.
Minister of Water Juma Aweso aims for water distribution to start by the 30th of May, and this is what we aim to achieving. We are grateful to all leaders who have made sure this project is completed.
The implementation of the Mwanga Same 2 Korogwe water project has taken about 19 years following unprecedented delays. And on to the next story. Tanzania Investment Center, TIC, has made improvements to the process of issuing licenses and permissions to foreign and domestic investors seeking to invest in the country, announcing that as of right now, permits will be granted for less than 7 days. This was said in the city of Dar es Salaam by the Director of the Investment Promotion Department, John Mnali, in a meeting with the European business community who invest in the country in various sectors, aiming at introducing to them the improvements made by the government on creating better business environment so as to facilitate business activities in the country.
The
number of employees who work in local services has increased recently. We also started a premium lounge service. We invite investors to take advantage of this service at the TIC Investment Center.
On the other hand, the European investors who invest in the country commend the government for the actions taken to involve them in various measures aimed at improving the investment environment.
So the TIC is a one-stop shop. They've helped us with our incentives, with legal issues that we've had. They've helped us with permitting. The DG is always available, as well as his team, to see how they can support and facilitate the business. So if there's a recommendation that I can make to European investors, is do embrace the TIC and the systems and the supports that they have in place for business.
It's key that the government created TIC as an entity that brings together, and it's a very challenging task because there are a lot of different entities involved. We saw in the presentation the wide range of entities ranging from immigration to taxes. So to get all these parties together to create a business climate that is welcoming and attractive to international investors, that's a key aspect of bringing new investors to Tanzania.
Minister of Information, Communication and Information Technology, Nape Nnauye, says that the government has formulated a special fund for the development of journalists in the country as part of creating a conducive environment for the media industry. He made the remarks during a special program on World Press Freedom Day aired on TBC1. Peter Mganga has more details.
A few days have passed since the celebration of the International Press Freedom Day, which was held on 3rd May 2024. Here in Tanzania, journalists say that they are currently fulfilling their duties in better environment compared to the past.
Having a freedom of press will help us. As a journalist, not only helping us, but it will increase our value. I would like to thank our government because they're doing each and everything to make sure that we are valuable, to make sure not only valuable, but we are capable, because, you know, working of journalists just like soldiers, just like a teacher, because we are working out, finding the values of stories.
Journalists are working more freely and more safely than in previous years. In the past, journalists were working while being threatened, but now we have experienced a great reforms in the media industry. On the other hand, various stakeholders, through discussions that bring together journalists, say a friendly environment contributes to better performance in informing the public.
Journalists have developed through consideration of journalism ethics, while there are only a few people who have the tendency of violating the laws.
The environment we had in the past has caused a journalist to lose interest of doing investigative news. There is a great need to do investigative news so that to help the government. Information is a fundamental right that enables the acquisition of other rights. We did not make a summary of the level of the cost of providing information. The Minister of Information, Communication and Information Technology, Nape Nnauye, said that the government has set aside a fund for the development of journalists in the country as part of creating better conducive environment in the media industry.
Serikali lazima ifanye matumizi kwenye vyombo vya habari.
The government must spend on the media. We do not give it as a subside, but we will pay for the various activities that we do in the government and the media, while profit made will be taken to media house in Tanzania. The goals of the Tanzanian government is to reform the information and communication sector, while technology is mentioned as an important pillar in creating more opportunity for journalists in Tanzania. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Peter Mganga, TBC News.
President Samia Suluhu Hassan is expected to grace the 62nd anniversary of the Tanzania Red Cross Society TRCS, which will be held on May 11, 2024 in Dodoma region. TRCS Secretary General Lucia Pande says more than 800,000 members of the organization and those who have volunteered have been of great support to the people, especially in the areas affected by various disasters in the country. Currently, a team of experts from the Red Cross are in southern Tanzania to provide assistance to people affected by Cyclone Hidaya and also Hanang in the Manyara region, where the areas have been affected by a mudslide.
Red Cross imehusika katika uokozi.
Red Cross has provided rescue services, awareness, and we are supporting the government in building 35 houses for Hanang flood victims.
In response to climate change, the Open University of Tanzania, Simiyu branch has supported the tree planting campaign dubbed Mti wa Mama, coordinated by the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, by planting trees to restore natural vegetation and improve the environment in the campus. Here's a report by Pascal Michael, read by Faithan Gaga.
The Mti wa Mama campaign is now supported by various stakeholders, and today is the Open University of Tanzania Simiyu branch.
Na hii ni kwa sababu ya kukabiliana.
Due to changes of climate, we are implementing the Green Tanzania campaign so that we can participate in making Tanzania greener.
More than 500 young people who have graduated from 845 KJ Force military training in Itaka Ward, Mbozi District, Songwe region have been urged to maximize on the training they have received so as to improve their operations. The call has been given by Major General Kahame Mzirai during the graduation ceremony of the initial military training group as part of marking 60 years of the Army, insisting if the training is not used properly, it can be termed as a betrayal to the nation, which has incurred huge costs in preparing them. Here is a report by Ines Tobias, read by Kanki Magomole.
It is during the graduation ceremony of the initial military training, and the guest of honor is Major General Kahame Mzirai, who insists the graduates should capitalize on what they have learned from the training.
Mafunzo haya mliopata ni vema mkayatumia vizuri.
You should utilize the training you received so that you can attain the objectives of the nation of becoming reserve forces. You should never be deceived to join criminal groups that will make you the biggest traitors of our nation.
Regarding the use of social media, Major General Mzirai also gives a word to the young graduates.
Natumia fursa hii kuanza kuwa hatukatai kutumia mitandao hiyo.
We do not condemn you to use social media. However, it is better to use it to get knowledge that will help you personal and the nation as a whole.
Some Itaka Army camp leaders also give their call to the graduates.
You should use training you have received to solve various challenges without breaking the law.
Niombe vijana wangu kujiepusha na matumizi ya madawa ya kulevya.
I argue to avoid drug abuse. Also, you should avoid criminal gangs and misuse of social networks. You should also take good care of your health because it is your greatest asset.
And now, some of the graduates of the training express their expectations.
We are going to have a greater chances of self-employment and not depend on external employment.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news as compiled by Ramadhani Mpenda and read by Kanki Magomole.
At least 5 people have died and about 50 others remain trapped following the collapse of a building in South Africa. Rescue teams said on Tuesday that they had contacted survivors buried under the rubble after they crossed overnight at the site in the coastal city of George in South Africa's Western Cape province. Chief Director for Disaster Management in the province, Colin Diner, says the 5-story building, which was under construction, collapsed on Monday afternoon and no cause has yet been given. He said the priority is to get all those still trapped in, adding that it is a very tough operation that can take some days to be completed. 26 of the 75 construction workers on site at the time of the collapse had been pulled from the rubble by Tuesday morning. President Cyril Ramaphosa on Tuesday sent condolences to the families of those affected and called on investigators to work quickly to rescue the survivors. Counting ballots has commenced since Monday evening in Chad for a presidential election intended to mark the end of 3 years of military rule. The ballot featured 10 candidates, including one woman, and evolved into an extraordinary showdown between General Mahatma Idris Deby, head of the military government, and his Prime Minister Success Masra, a former opponent turned ally. With over 8 million registered voters in a country of more than 17 million, Chad is reported to stand as one of the world's poorest nations. Israeli tanks have taken over the Rafah crossing in Gaza's border with Egypt after advancing during the night as their warplanes pounded residential homes. The incursion comes after Israel said it would continue its military operation in Rafah even after Hamas said it had accepted a Gaza ceasefire proposal to put forward by Qatari and Egyptian mediators. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said the proposal was far from Israel's demands, but he would send a delegation to Cairo for talks. UN agencies and aid groups warn of devastating consequences of any Israeli military assault on Rafah after tens of thousands of Palestinians were ordered to evacuate before the attacks. Vladimir Putin's fifth term as president of Russia has begun, following his inauguration in Moscow on Tuesday, which will last for 6 years. The ceremony was held at the Grand Kremlin Palace after the 71-year-old leader won the March election by settling 87.28% of the vote in a poll. The oath to serve the nation and its people was taken while placing one hand of a special copy of the Constitution used during inaugurations. Lawmakers from both chambers of the Russia's parliament and justice of the Constitutional Court were present. Putin's previous inaugurations took place in 2000, 2004, 2012, and 2018.
That was international news. Sports news up next. And in sports news, Young Africans head coach Miguel Gamondi says his team fancies to take the Tanzania Premier League title in style as they prepare to face Kagera Sugar tomorrow. Coach Gamondi says that they have set strategies to win all the remaining matches, including tomorrow's game against Kagera Sugar, and take 3 points.
We play game by game. We will be champion when mathematically it's done, no before. Because we need to respect all the teams. And the team, the second and third team, they fighting, they don't losing hope. We are concentrated in tomorrow game. We need to win tomorrow game. It's always, my mentality is step by step.
Young Africans sits on top of the Tanzania Premier League with 65 points, while Azam FC is in the second place with 57 points, while their arch-rival Simba sits in the third place with 53 points. Simba Sports Club Information and Communications Manager Ahmed Ali says his team is making huge preparation towards a must-win match against Azam FC to be played at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium on May 9th. Ali believes that the win is the only chance Simba has to qualify for the next season's Inter-Club Africa competition, so they are ready to raise the standards to win the match.
We need to win our game against Azam because it's the only way we can qualify for the African Champions League, and we don't have any chance to lose that game because Simba is a big team and always need to qualify for the African Champions League.
Inakwenda kutuhakikishia kushiriki ligi mabingwa msimu ujao.
Simba is 3 points behind their rivals Azam FC with 53 points in third place of the league table with one match on hand, while Azam FC sits in second place with 57 points. The representative of Tanzania Army Council's Games, Colonel Robert Mbuba, says the sports gear donated by NMB Bank worth 16.7 million shillings will boost the morale of the participating players during the competition. Speaking during the handing over of the sports gears in Dar es Salaam, Colonel Mbuba believes that the facilities will motivate the players and make them do better in the competition. And the bank representative Ikansia Muro says the bank is determined to support sports development in Tanzania.
Mashindano yetu
yanategemea kuanza mwezi Julai na August.
Our competitions shall begin in July to August, of which they will last for 2 weeks. The categories that we participate are boxing, basketball, netball, athletics, darts, just to name a few.
Sasa leo hapa tutakabidhi vifaa vifuatavyo.
Today we will hand over 154 football jerseys, 84 basketball jerseys. We will give 32 tracksuits together with 250 t-shirts, which are worth 16.7 million Tanzanian shillings.
Tanzania Army Council Games will take place in Morogoro, July and August, and the teams expected to participate are Ngome, Uhamiaji Magereza, JKT Zimamoto, and Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar Special Section. And that was sports news. Now, before we conclude the news bulletin, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello, this is 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Starting from tonight, 9 p.m. Wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 kilometers per hour over Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika, and Lake Nyasa. And the state of the lake is expected to be moderate. For the entire coast, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. And the state of the sea is expected to be rough. And this comes with an advisory of severe weather, of which Tanzania Meteorological Authority has issued an advisory of period of strong winds reaching 40 kilometers per hour and large ocean waves reaching 2 meters over some areas of Dar es Salaam, Tanga, Pwani, including Mafia ISOs, Lindi, Mtwara, together with Pemba and Unguja ISOs. Necessary measures and precautions should be taken. We expect chance of rainfall over some few parts of the country. And now let us see of the weather details, and this is what we expect for tonight. For Bukoba region and Mara region, we expect partly cloud condition, thunderstorms over a few areas. For northeastern highland, the entire coast including Morogoro region, we expect partly cloud condition, rain showers over a few areas. And the rest parts of the country, we expect partly cloud condition. And now let us see of what we expect for tomorrow. Over Kigoma region, Lake Victoria Basin, with the exception of Shinyanga region, Tanga, and Unguja and Pemba ISOs, we expect partly cloud condition, thunder showers over a few areas, and sun periods. For Dar es Salaam, Pwani, including Mafia ISOs, together with Morogoro region and northeastern highlands, we expect partly cloud condition, rain showers over a few areas, and sun periods. For southern coast, Lindi, and Mtwara region, we expect partly cloud condition, light rain showers over a few areas, and sun periods. And the rest parts of the country, Katavi, Tabora, Shinyanga, central part of the country, Singida and Dodoma, southwestern highland, and southern region, we expect partly cloud condition and sun periods. And now let us see of the next 4 days weather forecast from different regions. Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Mariam Faris. Till next time, and good night.
And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Teddy Mparnyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.